I'm going to walk you through what you need to get started leveraging Notion integrations and automations. And you might want to do this if you're developing a custom application or you're just trying to connect services and make use of the Notion features through the Notion API. So whatever the case may be, the first thing you want to do is go into your Notion settings, under connections, and find this link for developer manage integrations. When you click that, you get taken to this page where you can create an integration. So if you click new integration, give it a name. I'm just going to call this Matthew's Cool Integration. Associate it with your Notion workspace. And then for most purposes, you can leave the type internal unless you're developing something that's going to be publicly accessible. Internal should work just fine. So once you set all that up, just click Save, and then you can change the capabilities or access level that the integration has if you need to, or you can show your integration secret, and this is going to be the piece that allows you to connect the different services. I'm going to delete this one after, so don't worry that you can see this on the screen. And I'm going to come over here into make.com and make a simple integration using this new key. And so what I would like to happen is I have this test database in Notion, and I'd like to populate this with data from some other service and have something appear in the database rows. So to do that, I'm just going to simulate pulling data from an external service by setting variables here. So I'm just going to say my name is Matthew, and the category is, let me just choose one of these, automations. So pulling data from, this is meant to simulate pulling data from another service. And then I can use Notion here to create a database item. And the first thing I need to do is connect to my Notion. So I'm going to add a connection. This is a Notion internal connection. I'm going to call it Matthew's Cool Integration. And then this is the place to paste that integration key. And so this establishes a connection with your Notion, but there's another step we need to do. So in order to know about this database, we need to get its key, its ID. And to do that, you can just highlight the database and copy a link to the database. And that link will contain the database ID, which is this part just after notion.so/ and just before the question mark. So I'm going to delete everything else, and that's the database ID. However, it's not going to work until we give the integration permissions to access that database. So if I open this, you can see I'll get a 404 error. And so what we need to do next is, in the database, we need to give the integration permissions. So what you do is go to the three dots, connect to, and then find the name of your integration that you created and confirm that. Now, when I go into here, I can see the field names. And for the sake of demonstration, I'm just gonna drop these variables I created. You can choose when it's a select, or you can map and drop a variable name in. And then what I want to see happen is I run this integration and the database populates. So I'm just going to run once. You can see we don't get any errors, and then there's the data in the database. So that's everything you need to know to get started setting up Notion for integrations. Again, you'll need to create an API key and then use that API key in your API calls or make.com integrations, Zapier integrations, whatever the case may be.